Hey y'all, and welcome back to Photographer Life Check. I'm your host, Chrissy, and today we have a very special episode because I'm doing something a little different. I wanted to be vulnerable with y'all, a little transparent with y'all. But if I got any astrology girlies watching this, being vulnerable is definitely a learned skill for an Aquarius like me. I figured what would make this beautiful for me is to use images to be a little more transparent with y'all. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to pull up my Pinterest board. I'll still do all the other segments as well, but I just wanted to do this little task. I thought it'd be fun and I didn't want to miss a week of giving y'all a video. Okay, so I've been having a lot of feelings lately. So as a visual artist, I made a Pinterest board called Those Feels Again, because Snow Allegra had one when she made that one. Okay, come on. But I've been feeling very overwhelmed. And it's a thing I think I mentioned on the show before, where I feel like it's such a bittersweet feeling that sometimes I am so excited. I am so overwhelmed with my ideas, my own creativity, and trying to do everything that it feels so good. And I love being in that spirit. But of course, I can exhaust myself and I need to get better at not doing that. And honestly, I think I've been doing a pretty good job this year in general, but I've definitely been feeling like, I don't know, bro. I just don't want to fail y'all as an audience. I don't want to fail myself as this idea just being mine and taking ownership of something I wanted to make. I want this show to grow and reach more people so that everybody in the world knows about Black women image makers everywhere and hires us. And I don't want to fail the community. I feel like I've just been feeling those feelings very heavily these past 2-3 weeks. And because I'm pulled in so many different ways, I myself, for those who don't know me, I myself am also an image maker. I host this podcast. I produce things. I've been doing a lot of travel this year. I've been working on a bunch of family projects that I've just been getting pulled in all these different ways. And I feel like I don't know how to get this podcast to the next level. I keep creating. And honestly, the creating part is the easiest part. Producing these episodes is one of the easiest things to do. I just research the artists I'm interested in, and that's the best part about having my own podcast. The people that are on this show are people I enjoy, people I love, people whose work I'm actually inspired by. So all of that is the easy part. The hardest part is probably just scheduling for real, getting all of our schedules to sync up. And then outside of that, it's just really knowing the best ways to market and, still working to be able to have a full team to help with certain things. And so right now I've just been feeling so overwhelmed, bro, that I made this Pinterest board. And I feel like this is a good way to talk about my feelings. Not all of these image makers are Black women photographers, and I'm sorry about that. And I did not research all of the photographers either. I know some of them, but not all of them. But, let's not make this more complicated than it has to be. I'm already overwhelmed. Please, if I may ask for a little bit of grace in that. So yeah, I want to walk through this. Okay. Blue was my first favorite color of all time, and it lasted for a very long time. But I've been in an era of really being attracted to blues. So when I saw this one, I was like, oh, this is how I feel right now. I think in one hand, this could be interpreted as maybe sensual or sexy just because it's silhouetted and you see just only these hints of light kissing the skin. And I get that too. But what I saw this when I was just doing research for this Pinterest board was the fact that this character is silhouetted and not as detailed. That's what I feel like. I feel like there is so much light shining on me, on that head, emitting from me, from my back. But right now, I am getting this feeling of like, I need I need something. My silhouette needs to be fully formed, you know? And so it was pretty inspiring to me to see this one. And then that's what also made this one stick out to me. Just, I think that's such a gorgeous image. And honestly, I don't even know if it is an image or a drawing or AI, but I've always been attracted to water. I love being in the water. I feel the most grounded in the water. I'm always trying to be in some water or hear some water. And seeing this person or this figure just being in the middle of the water, them also being silhouetted in the water having this ombre effect of color, I feel like truly represents how like what overwhelm kind of feels like to me. I feel like there are people. If I am this figure in the middle, there are people here. They're just on the outside of these ripples. And I have a lot of creative light coming off of me, which isn't to say the darkness is bad. I don't think the darkness is bad. In fact, if we're just talking about color, darker colors of blues are my favorite. I'm most attracted to that. So I almost feel like I'm wanting more of that and I'm looking away from it. But I just feel like I can emit all of this light, all of these beautiful ripples, and I just need patience to allow things to settle. And I'm trying my best to like harness some of that patience. And I'll be going back and forth with it. Like there are some weeks where I just be fully as an air sign. I'm do 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 do. I don't care. Like, la, la, la. Like I'm not stressed. I'm thinking up more ideas, thinking up more adventure, thinking up, all of these beautiful things. And then getting back into my feeling can sometimes be a little scary or uncomfortable. Like getting back into it. And even I get that from this image too, where I'm just like, what is all of this? I see all of this impact, but I'm still unsure. Like, I don't know. Is this making sense? I hope the thought of this is translating. Because I was telling a friend of mine, I was like, yo, shout out to my homie Ben. I was like, yo, man, I've been so stressed out. I just don't know what to do. I need to drop an episode. I'm telling him basically everything I'm telling y'all. And he was like, what if you just like express that on the show? What if you did that in this way? What if you could use images to do that? What if da 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 da? And I was just like, oh, you're so right. Like I should. And I can just be open with y'all. And I don't know, I be having this feeling that like the podcast shouldn't be about me because it's not about me. Like my idea was to talk about other image makers. So it feels uncomfortable to talk about myself, but he encouraged me to talk about myself and where I'm feeling right now and in the hopes that that even might bring me some clarity. And I don't have anything written out for this episode. This is fully me talking straight off the dome. I always have things written out for the episodes, but the only thing I wrote is my regular segments. You know what I'm saying? Like, but anyway, shout out to the homies who will talk to you when you need to. And that feels like that's why I brought this one, but it's actually not why I brought this one. I was attracted to this image because of the greens and the blues. And I feel like that's pretty clear in my entire board. There's a lot of greens and blues in this board. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a ton of greens and blues in this board. And that's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling very green, very blue, which is usually a lot more positive for me. And not that I feel negative. Well, I guess I do feel negatively if I'm afraid of failing. Like that isn't a positive feeling. I guess what I mean to say is that for me, maybe what I'm realizing, and this is me thinking on the spot right now, is that I feel very lonely when I feel uncertain. When I'm uncertain if things are working, if I can make something shake, if I can get the episode out in time when things don't feel like they're aligning. And I don't want to complain. And like, that's another thing too. Like, I don't want to ever be making episodes like, oh my God. Like, that's not how I'm feeling. However, the truth of it is that feeling feels like loneliness. I know, recognize, and understand that I am not alone or lonely in this feeling. And in fact, like talking to my homie is like, yeah, like I feel like this and that way too, or like da da da. This is what I do to help. Like I know that, but feeling that feeling registers to me as a lonely feeling. And I don't like that. And seeing this phone like this, I think, kind of described it to me because all we see is the sky, which for me represents like this vastness and the vastness of uncertainty or loneliness. Having this like one sided experience with this phone. And so I don't know, it just felt right. And it was encapsulating this feeling for me. Which, speaking of green, oh, I should do this one because I was like, oh, yes. So sometimes this is what being overwhelmed feels like. Not overstimulated, overwhelmed. I feel like I am underneath all of the dirt and the grass, and I am just trying to breathe. And actually, this is so interesting now that I think about it because I feel like for most people, maybe not most people, but some people might be like, oh, I feel like I'm drowning, like I'm in the water. And I don't usually have like negative based language around water. And I just clocked this like the earth, me being grounded, me coming back down to earth from being in my airiness is like, oh my God. Not I just read myself. Oh my God. But that is how I feel. I feel like all of this dirt, soil, and everything is sitting on top of me and it's coming up my neck and I still need to breathe. But baby, it is inching. And yeah, I think the juggling of all these things can make me feel like that. One thing I love about this whole board that I made though is I think all of these images are beautiful. And even in feeling this overwhelm and this fear of uncertainty and like frustration, not knowing what to say or what to do sometimes is I think this moment in my life is still filled with a lot of joy and a lot of happiness, a lot of rest right now, dog. Oh my God. I've been getting some good sleep. And I've been chalking it up to like, this is what my body needs right now, this rest and restoration. So I'm not going to force my body to like wake up earlier or do certain things. Like I'm really allowing myself to sleep. And I thank God because when I came back from Vietnam, y'all, I was doing all of this stuff to try to get better sleep. Cause just trying to like get back from the time zone. I was in Europe before that. Like my body was like, girl, where are we? So in that way, like I have been trying to like, make the little sleepy mocktails and taking the magnesium and all of that. And I was still not getting over like 4 hours most days. I don't know. Something kicked in about the end of June, top of July, somewhere around there. I've been knocked out. I've been drooling. I've been so knocked out. It's been so lovely. So within these images, within this board, I am still feeling some type of restoration, deep amount of joy. And this also, and I think so much of anybody's life is trying to figure out how to balance everything happening at the same time. And so I guess this is just my effort in doing that out loud, which I would not typically do. So be gentle with me, please. But I think with that in mind, that kind of reminds me of this image. It feels very wistful to me. It feels a bit romantic, but still a little like dark. Like, where is she running? What is she running from? All of that. It doesn't feel like a normal field. It almost looks like a composite image. I've seen this artist's work before, and I honestly do think this work is AI. But either way, it it reminds me of how much movement I have been doing. Like I'm going. And in some ways, that's just me following the flow. Like the tide pulling and the tide pushing, and I'm really riding these waves, surfboard cute, you know what I'm saying? And then in other ways, it's like I'm going so fast sometimes that I can't even see myself, you know? Like that's what that blur felt like to me. Like, wait, I need to remember myself, which reminds me, I actually just made 1 second. I just made a new pleasure journal, which I'm very happy and excited about because I've never I never had one that was solely just for writing down like my pleasure, my joys, my love, my bliss. I've had other documents and then in like normal journaling, of course, like I write happy things as well as all the other emotions. But I thought it was really sweet to have a dedicated place to write only pleasurable moments and things that I'm experiencing. And I believe things like that, practices like that allow me to be more present. And I was definitely noticing there were certain times in like the last 2 months where I feel like time was really flying. And that reminded me that, oh, I'm not being as present as I would like to be because I'm just so focused on trying to do all these things that I need to slow down, do a little less, be a little more mindful about what I'm actually experiencing, not just my actions, but taking it in. And even when I think I am doing that, because what I do is I notice and might call out in real time these things that are happening. So I might feel like I harness the power to slow down time just a little bit, but not enough to really feel like the day has not flown by. So hopeful that my pleasure journal will allow me not only a beautiful amount of tenderness and care, but also some ease in presence. Let's get into these black and whites. Although I didn't talk about her, and I love this one because it's a contortion. And I think this is a perfect description of what balance can feel like sometimes. Or it's like, I don't really think that complete balance is like super achievable for real. I think there is always something that will get a little bit more attention than other things, and it's just about the season that you're in. And then that season might require you to contort a little bit. You might be stretching a lot and all that. And I thought this was a good representation of that. And then the themes coming again, the silhouettes, the green. Hmm. Something to journal about. Being so transparent with y'all. This one I thought was interesting. This one, my first thought was a question actually, like, where am I getting in my own way? Where am I hurting myself? Where is it that I could ease up on myself, that I could be more graceful with myself or more gracious with myself, not graceful, or maybe both. Who knows? That was my first. That was my first thought with this one. I think it's a interesting image, especially considering the hands are backwards and up, so that almost feels like surrender. I think that could be taken a lot of different ways. Shout out to the artists. I mean, shout out to all of them for real. This one's just so interesting. Of course, we got to go. This one is for the moments of those like actual exhaustion, and maybe I want to reach out to somebody and I'm having a hard time. And that's why the phone feels so far away from me, even though it could be an easy thing to just pick up the phone and be like, hey, girl, I'm exhausted and I'm tired and I got this to do list and da, 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 like, but that's how this picture makes me feel. And I think there's a lot of light in this photo as well that is representative of how much I am still emitting and less of how much I have to give, because that's not the confusing part. I know how much I have to give. And in fact, I'm open to the challenge of even giving more. But how much light is around me? And if I just reach out, what might happen? And I think that's what makes this image so beautiful. And then it's also just self soothing, like to just be in this like upright fetal position and giving yourself a hug. It feels like self soothing and a little bit of defeat at the same time, for real. But it was so beautiful seeing these images in real life for the first time a couple years ago in the exhibition. Carrie Mae Weems and Daoud Bey had one at the Getty. and I was in this residency with the Getty and the Black Image Center. And so part of it was we got to go see the exhibit together. Excuse me. And Carrie Mae Weems has been one of my favorite photographers for a long time, since I was a kid. And I remember, for me, probably the first two artists I really remember having like a huge impact on me was Carrie Mae Weems and Carrie James Marshall. And I just have these vivid memories of looking in these art books and seeing these images and loving them, having like little bookmarks and stuff with their images on them and being like, whoa. And I got so emotional when I saw their Carrie's work in real life at the museum because they were blown up. And it was just like, this is the first time I'm ever seeing these images printed like this. It's not on like notebook paper. This is crazy. Like, I truly, excuse me, don't remember what age I was, but I was like, man, 7-year-old Chrissy is T right now. Like, she's doing cartwheels right now. It was such a beautiful moment in my life. I loved it. And it was beautiful to watch them speak and meet Daoud. I think I said hello to Carrie, but it was like as a group. But I got to actually meet Daoud, and both of those moments were really special for all versions of me, for real. Like, especially baby version, who was just like, I had no understanding, even as I got older, like how I would ever gain opportunity or access to witness these images in real life. So to be able to do it, it was like 7 versions of me hugging each other at once, you know? Like, there's baby version, high school, 20s, today, da, 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 like, all of us were just like, bro. So shout out to Carrie Mae Weems for having an image for nearly every moment. And I feel like that's totally related to this image as well. Just, you know, having these moments where you just need to lay your head. Rest your weary heart, okay? There was a moment I was playing a lot of Cranes in the Sky, just like, baby girl, just. I don't want y'all to be worried about me. One, because I don't think worry is a useful tool. Like, I much rather, if it's in your practice, like, just pray for me, send me love instead of worry. Send me kindness, grace, energy, rest. You know, use another emotion to send me. Don't send me no worry, please. But I say that to say, because, you know, I had Cranes in the Sky and Weary on repeat. I think it's just being a woman, you know? We got all these things. Anything can break your heart. Anything can inspire you all at once. And that's why I love this image also. This person looks so pensive. I almost feel like I could read her every thought, but that would be a projection. But I think this is how I would look if I allowed myself to be exhausted. I'm allowing myself to rest and restore. But to be honest, I'm not allowing myself to be exhausted. I feel like I need to be committed to my work, my practice, my people. And so I need to push through. I don't want that to be true. This is getting so deep, child. Oh, thank God that is the end of it. But yes, I hope that wasn't too crazy. I thought it would be an interesting idea to share where I am. And I just want to reaffirm that I'm committed to this show. I love this show so much, and I'm excited for the guests that we have coming up. And balancing all of these things can get difficult. And I am committed to continuing here. So if you've made it this far, if you listen regularly, oh my God, I hope this is not your first listen. Can you imagine if this is your first listen? You like, oh my God, girl, she going through it. It's really, I am struggling being witnessed in this moment, but I appreciate the opportunity to be witnessed. And yeah, that is the point of being this honest, even though it is a little uncomfortable for me. So we can visit our next segment. I'm actually really excited to get to some of them. It's going to be cool. Okay.
This episode is brought to you by Art House, the first Black-owned film lab in the city of Los Angeles. Art House specializes in C41, black and white, E6, and ECN2 processing for 35mm and medium format film, using a custom-built cinema scanner to deliver stunning movie quality stills. Pick up or drop off a roll at their new location in Chinatown and check them out at arthousefilmlab.com or at arthousefilmlab on IG. And tell them we sent you.
So this is the Gear Don't Matter, but where we talk about our favorite piece of gear anyway. It doesn't matter what piece of gear it is, but I want to talk about it right now. Some of my favorite pieces of gear are my little phone tripods. It's been helping me get all of my little BTS when I record fun little photographer fit checks, and I have multiple types by me right now. Okay, I had to get up and get it, but this one is one of my favorite ones. It's magnetic on this side and for the phone, so I can stick it to so many different surfaces, and then when I need to, I can clamp it on things or I can set it up. I love this tripod so much, it holds me down. And then this tripod also, it's one of those tracking ones too. I rarely use it to track me anymore. I was doing that for a little bit when I first got it, but yeah, all of my little tripods, I have another one, but I don't know where it's at. It's that one's mostly for like overhead stuff, but I've been loving it. It's some of my favorite piece of gear right now, specifically just for my phone. It's been holding me down. Next up, we have photographs not taken. It was storming here pretty badly the other day. Like, it did get real bad. Like, trees were getting ripped up off the ground and stuff. A lot of people were affected. But I did see a beautiful moment during the storm. It was one of those beautiful classic Chicago apartments where it's like a wall full of windows. And looking out the window, you see a little hint of the street light on the top right. So it's like this beautiful white glare. The rain is going crazy, hitting the window. It's nearly pitch black outside, like so black is blue kind of vibe. And all of the greenery from the trees and stuff. Not exactly hitting the window because they weren't that close, but they're moving in such a way where it's hitting a light, where it almost create an illusion as if it was hitting the window. That was just so beautiful. I stared at it forever. I love rain. I love water. And one thing about me, baby, I love trees. Okay, I love trees. I could go on a whole tangent about my relationship to a tree. We all need to be respecting trees more. They do so much for us. Don't get me started. As you can see, I'm getting mad for some reason. Like, I don't need, nobody here told me they hated trees. I'm ready to cut somebody out. I need to calm down. That's how you know I'm overwhelmed. Anyway, that moment, I'm seeing the trees, I'm seeing the rain, little hints of light, the beautiful little rain droplets like sliding down a window and stuff. Like, it was gorgeous. It was really gorgeous. And I stared at it for a while the other day. Okay. And a PLC playlist. I have been listening to a little bit of everything. I feel like I talked about here where sometimes I can get hyper fixated on music or food, but I have not been hyper fixated on music lately. So when I tell you I've been a little bit of everywhere, they be. Like, 1 minute I'm listening to piano, the next minute I'm listening to fucking Congolese gospel music, the next minute I'm listening to something from the Deep South. It's everywhere. Next minute, dance. Like, it's everywhere right now. It's so fun. But one of my faves at the moment is from, I'm gonna do one from Cruza. It's called, let me take this off, Metropolitics. Cruza is a really beautiful brand. I think they're all black, and if not all, at least mostly black, a black band. It's from this album. This album is the Paranoia Pack. But Metropolitics has been a vibe. Honestly, this whole little EP, my album, this whole little EP been just one long, great song. So just run the whole pack up, but Metropolitics is a solid way to start our album. I really was fucking with it. Shout out to Cruza. Shoot your shot. Should I do a shoot your shot? I don't know. You know what? I want to shoot my shot at places like Fuji, other film labs, maybe a B&H and Adorama to support specific IRL pop-ups for the podcast. I have some cool ideas about things we could be doing in person, not just like in-person interviews, which I'm so excited to get started to do, but like real activations for the podcast that I think would be hella tight. And I would love to partner with people who are interested in helping me build it. And that means that's it for this week's episode. Thank you so much for listening to me talk about my feelings. I'm gonna have to call my friend like right after I stop this, like, girl, I talked about my feelings on the podcast. Yeah, thank you so much for listening. I'm so grateful for you. I do not take y'all for granted. I'm so excited that we're still growing. I can't wait to everybody know all about every single guest I have on the show. I can't wait to have more of y'all on the show. Just am so grateful for all the listens, all the shares. Please be sure to subscribe on YouTube and Spotify so you can see our beautiful faces. Oh, and the PLC playlist, it's always linked in the show notes, but it's currently a Spotify playlist, open to making it a playlist on another platform. Just let me know where we should go. And would love for y'all to witness the images that I was talking about today. I am personally, for the most part, an audio only podcast listener, so I completely understand, but watching it this week will give you more context. Either way, I'm so grateful for y'all. Thank you so much for listening. You can find me at QURISSY anywhere you get your podcast and online. And of course, you can find us at Photographer Life Check anywhere you get your podcast. I have so many ideas for this show. I cannot wait to bring them to life. So thank you a million times over, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye.